And welcome back to another video of jPlay. I am Marcus and I really hope you enjoyed your Christmas season so far. I certainly did. I returned from a hibernation basically, and today I will start my next video series about German railroads. You might already know that German railroads expands Russian railroads. In case you didn't know that, then yes, that's a fact. So you cannot play this alone. And today I will really focus on all the expansion material that comes with German railroads here. There are plenty of awesome videos out there, especially by Michael Wisner, so Mivi on YouTube, who did a very great walkthrough or playthrough of Russian railroads. He did the same for German railroads, or at least an overview video, something like that. I did also a walkthrough video of Russian railroads. So if you are interested in the base game, go out to YouTube and find the other channels or check out my walkthrough video here as well. One of the new things that comes with German railroads is a solo variant. You're looking at the German version of the game, but fear not, everything is language independent. I also have the English version of the rules in front of me, so I will hopefully do my best to give you a more or less English walkthrough or playthrough through this game. And I think for this one, as it is a solo variant, I might really consider doing a full playthrough, and I'm really decided to go all in this one. So I will play with the new German maps. I will use the Coal expansion. As I mentioned, I will do this as a solo variant with this card of deck, though the AI player is Emil in this case, and we are also utilizing the new play material that also comes with this expansion, which this is. I will definitely walk you through as I play, and as you can see, I already prepared the game for a two-player game basically. This is how you do that with a solo variant. The solo player only has a deck of cards and using 6 to 8 of his workers. 2 of them are waiting here, so the Emil gets it when I reach 50 points or so. And that's pretty much it. There are already some new components which you might be able to see right now. So for once we have this new player board which is located here in Germany, and I'm so happy that Frankfurt is here on the map, as this is the town I basically was raised and I'm still living in. We have 2 new of those question mark, or I don't know, bonus tokens. We have some new locations which you can activate. This is already the version for the 2-player game. On the other side you see there are 3 actions when you play that with more than 2 players, but of course in the solo variant we are playing with this 2-player version. We have a lot of coal here. Here we have the foundries, though basically you're looking at the Boilerman here. I will have to show 2 of those at any point during the game. So this is also one of those new action space which you can take here. So then you can go either for a foundry or you can take the Boilerman here. The Boilerman is pretty easy for once. It can extend the range of one of your trains by 1, or you can use the advantage of a factory one more time when you put this Boilerman next to one of your factories. What's pretty cool in this expansion are those railroad extension tiles here, which you have to place on your player board. So whenever you reach one of those spaces with your track, basically, you will then have to choose one of the remaining extension tiles which are out there and have to place them immediately on the board. And they're really all pretty different. So if I would place this tile on this one here, then I would gain this bonus if the black track would make it here, and the train as well. So I could increase my factories or my industry by 2 spaces. If I would reach the last space of this railroad here, then I would gain an additional worker and 10 victory points. But there are various other of those tiles out there. There are also 5 new engineers which you can immediately use for a 2-player game, as in this, when you play with a coal expansion or with a coal module, you only play 5 rounds with 2 players instead of 6. So you already reduce the game length, which is kind of a good thing, I guess. And yeah, these are all the new engineers, and I really decided to go all in. So you see this little Germany outline here. So this shows us or tells us, hey, these engineers are from the expansion. These are the awesome income tokens, which you can get by using the right extension, railroad extension tiles, which I showed earlier. You can use those once per round, and you just flip them and you gain the advantage. So if I would have this income token, I could flip them before my action, after my action. I would flip it, and then I would gain this bonus here. In this case, this would be 1 additional coin, which is certainly a pretty powerful thing, because when you play solo, this action space is prohibited. So you place this marker on this spot here. So I'm not allowed to take this gain 2 gold coins extra action here. And last but not least, I guess this is last but not least, we have 2 new of those special cards which you can get when utilizing one of your question mark tokens. So you get a new factory, which is here, and this also gives you 2 coal, or you get this new revaluation token here. So the normal revaluation token from the core game only goes until the brown railroad or brown track. In this one you also gain the double amount of points for your gray tracks as well. Can be pretty powerful if you are strong in your railroads. And I guess without further ado, I will start my playthrough. I think I will explain some of the rules as I play. Not sure how deep I will dive into the core rules here. There are, as I mentioned already, great videos out there which explain you how the base game works. Not sure how much time I will waste here to explain you the core game. Maybe I will do that for once per action or something like that, so that at least you can follow, or you get some kind of a, let's say, fresh up for the rules, in case it's been quite a while when you last played this game. I have not much experience playing this game solo, I have to admit, and so I really don't know how good I will do. You cannot really lose this game, it's just how many points you will score actually. I would really say, I would consider it as a loss if I would be below 100 or 150 points. Let's make the mark a little bit higher, so I will say I have to reach 150 points, and then I would consider it at least not being the last player or something like that. Everything below that should not be acceptable. It's, again, the coal expansion reduces the overall game by 1 round, and this can be pretty much of a difference, but there are on the other hand great ways to increase the ways you can earn points and such. So yeah, I'm not sure. So let's say 150 points, so I will have to come through here one entire time, and then again I have to pass the 50 here. And this is like this one here. Keep in mind there are 500 victory point tokens available, so this game can really score you a lot of points, that's for sure. And when you play the normal 2-player game, it's really easy to come over 200 or so, at least when you have some experience with this game. In the solo game, there is no first or second player. Emil always goes first by drawing a card here. There's also you're not using the benefits for the second player or so, because yeah, there is no first or second player, so you have to live without those bonus. But good thing is you start the game with 5 coins, which is definitely a lot. You can, at least gives you the opportunity to buy some stuff or hire some engineers, which is kind of important. Okie dokie, let's get started. Let's draw the first card. This is where he will send his workers, and here we have sent 2 workers to the brown tracks. Here's already an exception to these cards. He will only do whatever I could also do. Right now I'm not able to build brown tracks. I think I will explain that to you when I do my first action to build some tracks. So in this case, he will just redraw until he gets a card, which makes my life actually harder. And here we are also pretty unlucky. So again, we are not in brown tracks yet, and I have really shuffled them quite well. this is certainly a thing I can do. So he will now place one worker on this action here, which is up here. So I'm not allowed to use this action space during this round. This is really a pity, because this industrialization marker can really help you to score a lot of points in this game. So you really get, or there is a scoring round after each round. So whatever you have achieved during a round, you will immediately gain some victory points for that. And you really start slow. So for example, if your industrialization marker would be here, each round I would gain 2 victory points. But if I would get it here, or maybe here to 20, 25 or 30, and you get that each round, I think you get the idea. So this is really something that's a good start for Emil, making our life relatively bad, because, and this is also something I should tell you, I'm usually the guy who reaches out or who focuses on industrialization in this game. So I will normally make most of my points on this track here. Maybe I already have to reconsider my strategy for this game. What the first player normally does is either go here to hire the engineer or go up there to get some coins. The coin action space is out of the game in this solo variant, so this one is certainly something we would look out for. And you also gain a lot of points by getting engineers. So if you have the most engineers by the end of the game, you get 40 additional points. The second player 20 additional points. Okay, he doesn't really score any points, it's only for me. So in this case, I think I will hire this engineer here. I cannot send a worker here, so you clearly see a coin, so I have to spend a coin to hire this engineer, but this space is still locked. So I will take this engineer, I will put it next to my player board, and here I have one additional private action spot. This is something I only can use, and this is a pretty good one. And as I mentioned, this is also from the expansion. When I send a worker here, I'm allowed to draw 2 of those start bonus cards, and I gain both boni immediately, and I can do that once per round, and again it's exclusively for me. So this is a pretty cool engineer. Okay, then it's again Emil's turn. He will draw his new card. Oops, these were 2. Sorry, this is his new card. Oh, we are really lucky. So he would now reach out to the engineer, but this space is already occupied. So again, he will redraw. So let's see what we have here. In this case, he will now use the new coal action space. This is really a pity, because this would be my next stop basically, but yeah, I really missed it. So the top action space is already locked. This is normally an either or action space. You can either send a worker or a coin, and whatever you send, you get the appropriate reward back. So if you send a worker, he would gain a coal, but he doesn't collect any resources. He's just here to annoy me. And if you would send a coin here, then you gain this foundry and 1 piece of coal. And I think I forgot one thing during my preparations. I start the game with 1 piece of coal, so I will put this next to my coin. But with 1 piece of coal, you can normally not do anything meaningful. Okay, this was already his action, and as I might not focus on industrialization in this game, or maybe I will just do it differently, I will send 2 workers here to this action space. I could also send a worker and a coin, or even 2 coin, whatever I prefer. So coal can replace a worker, but a worker never replace a coin. And yeah, in this case I will have to send 2 workers, and this now allows me, or I have to move my black track now 3 spaces. Also something that's very important. If you cannot take an action here completely, you are not allowed to take this action. So there is no chance here to block the workers. The only one who can do that is my AI component Emil here. For once I will move this track 1 space ahead. I have 3 railroads, and I can distribute the 3 points I just gained onto any of those. I could move this one 3 spaces up, or again distribute that evenly among all those tracks here, so like Dresden, Nuremberg or Munich in this case. So I will certainly send 1 black track here, and I get an immediate bonus for that. So now I earned my gray rails, and these gray rails are the first rails that provide me any potential victory points. Right now they are on 0, so I have not really used it, but at least now I have call it, invented it. Let's put it that way. I still have 2 more tracks to go. I think I will go here as well, because this Nuremberg railroad can give me some bonus points. This is pretty important, and this is something I can gain a track relatively easily, and I think this is what I will do. So with my third movement I will send the black rail there as well, so I could gain my first railroad extension tile here. And I'm really considering taking this one here, because this can give me some additional of those income tokens, which are also pretty important. Then it's back to Emil. He will do his next action, and here, okay, he will use a double token. That's not entirely bad, I guess, even though you can score a lot of points with those if you have enough of them. So this space is also blocked for me. I think I will build a new train or new locomotive here, so I can now decide either to take a new train basically, or a factory. I think in this case I will really go for a train. And in a 2-player game there are 2 trains of each generation. What's printed on here is basically tells you how far the train can go, and I always have to start with the lowest train. So in this case I have to take the train with a level 2. On the back side there is a factory which I can use, so I can now decide whether to take a train or a factory. In this case I will go for a train, and I guess I will place this train beside this railroad. So now I'm allowed to take this bonus action space here, and this gives me 5 additional victory points each round. So see that here. So for once you have to reach this space with a black track, which I did, so I passed it clearly. So consider it to be a black virtual track on this one, and I also have to reach it with one of my train. My train can reach 2 spaces, 1, 2, so I gain both of those bonus spaces, which is, let's say, not a bad start. Okay, back to Emil. Let's see. Okay, he will use this action space, so he will have to use 1 worker and 1 coin. He doesn't have any coin, so he just takes the coin from the bank, but in this case that's not really a bad thing. So we could now place a coin from bank, but I don't have to do that. So this action space is also blocked. This would allow me to move any 2 of my tracks 2 spaces, and this is pretty powerful because you could also move, for example, or you could also move stuff that already has been blocked, for example. It's a pretty good space. I think I will use this engineer. So there are always 2 engineers at any given round. So once the engineer you can hire, but then it's really exclusively for you, or there's this engineer who will then move to higher spot at the start of the next round basically, or the end of the current round, not sure which order you do that. And right now I can still use it. I could now send either a worker there or a coin. I still have a lot of workers, so I think I will send the worker here, and this now allows me to basically move the gray track 3 spaces ahead, which is something I can just do as I have progressed the black tracks accordingly. So this goes here, so I can never be on the same space as the next lowest track. So it's always black, then gray, then brown, then beige, and then white. And of course I can also not overtake it, of course. So these were 1, and then I go 1 and 2, and the gray track now starts to scoring me points if I can reach it with my train, which I can do. Here I have a starting train, this Draisine here, so this can reach this space. Each gray space is 1 victory point for each round. That's a good thing. And here I have the stronger train, which can reach 2 spaces here, so I gain 2 additional points for that. And as I said, I will now focus a little bit more on those railroads in this playthrough. Back to Emil, so let's see. No, and here he does something very nasty. I really wanted to do that as of my next action. This stinks, so he will place his last 2 workers on this action space here, and this really sucks. Wow, this is a tough one. Okay, I have to live with that, so I cannot move my industrialization marker in this round. Maybe, yeah, I could do that because I can activate the engineer here, and I think this is what I will do. So I will place one worker there. I gain now 2 of those starting bonus cards. There's one additional that came with the expansion. I draw 2 at random. That's the first one. I gain a double token. Okay. And 1 coal. Okay, the coal is not bad, to be honest. I really was hoping for something cooler, but okay, I have to live with that. So I have to place those bonies or bonuses immediately. So for once, I gain this double token. So all the tracks that are on this space are counting now double. So instead of 1 point, this is now 2 point. Not really powerful for a gray track. But if I'm able somehow to gain the white track here, this would be 14 points instead of 7. This is definitely a difference. Still, I get my second bonus from the engineer, so I gain 1 piece of coal. And with 2 coals, I can do something. Potentially, I could send 2 coal here as a bonus action. So whenever you're using coal, this is some kind of a bonus action. So it's not your normal turn. So you can still place a worker and do this as well. And then I would gain a boilerman, which I would have to attach to a train or to a factory. Right now I only have these 2 trains, so this 1 train and the 2 train here, and this boilerman is attached to the train basically until the end of the game, or whenever you are giving it back. When you're upgrading it, for example, then it's lost, so you cannot simply reattach it to another train when you get a more powerful one. So right now I think I will not do that. Emil has to pass because he's out of workers, so I will be next. And right now the only space which I can use actually is this space here, which allows me to move either a black or the gray rail 1 space ahead, and this is the only action space where you can basically send any amount of workers you want. So I could go there, Emil could go there, the 3rd player could go there, whatever. You can send all your workers there if you want to. So I will send my last worker down there, and I guess therefore I will move it onto this space here in Würzburg. And now I have to extend my player board here immediately, and I think, as I already told you, I will go for this space here. So when I would now gain a train that has a power of 4, and I already reach it with a black rail here, I would gain 1 of those income tokens. Right now I only have a train of 2, so I don't get this bonus right away. What a pity. For a short moment I was thinking to send my last worker and 2 coins here, but I think right now that does not provide me the trains I need. So I'm really hoping that maybe Emil will take this action or that action up there and take the, let's say, the cheap trains from me, so I can then focus on the more powerful trains. So right now this really doesn't do me any good. So I really want to start at least with a train 3 or 4. This would be the most ideal scenario for me. End of round. So let's do the end of round scoring. We start here with the topmost track, the Dresden to Bremen Railroad. Unfortunately, I don't have a train there. And also the black track or the black rail doesn't provide me any victory points at all. So this is dead for this round. Let's check for the second track. Here's the Munich track. I have a train that can reach 1 space. Wow. And I also have a gray rail, which is a good thing. And this is also double. So I gained 2 victory points for that. So 1 and 2. Then we come to the third track, the Nuremberg Fürth track here. So for once I gain this 2 points, so the gray rail is 2 spaces advanced. I have a train of 2, so which is a good thing. So I gain 2 points, 1 and 2. So here's a virtual gray track. Just keep that in mind. But I also gain the bonus points here each round, which is 5, because I could reach those tracks with my rail and the black track immediately. So these are additional 7 more points. Which brings me to 9 victory points. Not really great. Normally I would also score some extra points for my industry track here. Unfortunately, Emil has taken all the spots from me pretty early, so I don't gain any bonus points from those. This is really something I should focus on as well, I guess. Okay, let's send all the workers back home to their owners. Emil gets his, here's one more, 6 back. I will gain my workers back. Here is one more. We will also shuffle the AI deck accordingly. I think I will do that more properly off camera any second now. And then last but not least, we will move the engineer here, so we can now hire her for 1 buck. This one goes there, which is kind of a cool one because I could gain the bonus twice, which is really a good thing. And those are just following here to the right. And then we would start round 2 of German railroads, but I think I will stop for today as the introduction took me quite some time and I think this is really something you have to digest. So I think as of the next episode I will then record 2 rounds per video, and then so this would leave me up to 3 videos in total, and I really hope that this is fine for you. I hope you enjoyed it so far. I really hope some of the rules made sense. I have not really shown you the new stuff, at least not the how those foundries work or how the Boilerman actually work, but at least I could show you some of the new components. Hope to see you soon in my next episode of my playthrough of German railroads, and until then, bye bye.